when you talk about mental health enough, eventually someone says, what do you think about social media and mental health? And I think personally that there are some really wonderful applications for social media and the interwebs in general, but also we need to be pretty eyes wide open about what kind of stuff is on social media and the way people use it. We kind of have a very curated, positive vibe for a lot of people. This is all the best, me looking my best, me living my best life. And I don't have a problem with that. I actually think, yeah, cool, that's great. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you celebrate the good things and look good and feel good and celebrate your achievements and stuff? I've got no problem with that. I think that's fine. And then at the other end of the scale, to try and balance it out, we almost have sometimes this kind of performative negativity, which is or performative challenge, or really serious kind of big box problems that people then want to talk about, which is also important because we need to bring attention to challenging things and challenges that people face, and that's important too. But we kind of end up with a spectrum that is really missing the middle. And this sort of came to me the other day when I just had a day that was a bit shit, and I thought, today was just a bit shit. I don't need to tell everyone. It's not like an adversity day. It's just a bit shit. And I was fortunate that on that day, because I regularly speak to friends and family who are close to me, I could just sort of say, oh yeah, today was a bit shit. And they go, oh, that's no good. And you have a little bit of a whinge about it. And you don't need anything in particular. You don't need some massive help or anything like that, but you just wanted to get it off your chest. At the same token, there's plenty of days that are pretty neutral, and there's a bunch of days that are just pretty good, no big deal, nothing to write home about. I wouldn't post about it or make a big deal about it, but it was a pretty good day, or it was a nothing day, or it was a day that was pretty shit. That's one of the things that is missing on social media, and I don't think we should fill social media up with that. I think what I'm trying to say is those middle bits are for relationships, they're for human interactions, they're for communicating with people, and it's easier to have those conversations. It's easier to understand those realities if you put the time in to regularly interact with people and cultivate relationships where you can have a closeness that means you're up to date with what's going on with them. Because days that are a bit shit aren't announcement worthy, but they're 100% conversation worthy. So you've got to maintain those conversations. So I think, days that are a bit shit, they don't seem like a big deal, and they might not seem that good. But if you don't have someone to talk to about, maybe you end up with a little bit of a feeling like you're the only one having them, or that you're having more than someone else, or they start to get a bit of extra importance because you're just keeping it inside and thinking about it and focusing on these days that are a bit shit. And that doesn't really serve anybody's mental health or anybody's life, really. Whereas if you've got these kind of regular conversations going on, you've got your close friends and your family or whatever that you can talk to, and you can just say, oh yeah, today was whatever it was, and be honest about it. I think that leaves social media available for these other kinds of outputs, these kind of broadcasting messages or images, whatever. And it's not the job of social media to fill that gap. That's the job of people just making an effort with each other and putting the time into understanding what's going on. And when you do that, you have a couple of friends you speak to pretty regularly, you realize everyone goes through these cycles of good, neutral, a bit shit, all the way from terrible to awesome to neutral. The terrible and the awesome, maybe they bring a different intensity, and so they need to be treated differently, and that's fine. But those middle ground ones that don't really have a place on social media, because no one wants, who wants to broadcast everything they're thinking or feeling all day, every day? It's a bit much, and I don't think you should be focused on broadcasting all of that all the time. But you should definitely be focused on having those conversations and cultivating relationships with people that allow you to keep having those chats. Because days that are a bit shit are important. They help us grow as people. They help us identify challenges that we might be able to overcome. They make the good days better. And the fact is, you can't avoid them. So there's no point pretending they don't exist or just trying to ignore that they're around. We also don't need to tell everyone all the time in a broadcast fashion. Better to have those conversations. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out a little bit about kind of the importance of days that are a bit shit, because they are important. And not only are they important, they're inevitable. And if they're inevitable, then they should be on the table for discussion with people, and you should hopefully you can cultivate relationships where it's okay to talk about stuff that's just normal and regular and real and honest. And that's okay. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to say when I'm having a bit of a shit day. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to say I'm having a bit of a good one too, and celebrate those times with my friends. And not necessarily have the whole world know how every day was every single day, because it's not everyone's business, and it's also not a big deal because it's just rolling through the days. So shout out to Harper for giving me this, making one day that wasn't great a little bit better with a little painting. What a legend. Thanks so much. When in doubt, dance it out, drink some coffee, have a nap, whatever. Look after each other, pay attention, be honest, be real, cultivate relationships offline, talk to human beings, and always just be nice.